Hello everybody and welcome back to the Matt Fryer Golf Podcast. I'm your host Matt Fryer and we're joined fourth week on the run, Tom. It is Mr. Tom Fearon.
This is very strange being this side. It's like swapping sides of the bed. I'm not used to looking that way to you.
Do I? Look,
I
know you sit on the right,
here.
don't I? Yeah, so for those eagle-eyed viewers who are watching us over on YouTube, we're not in the studio. That is because we are down at the absolutely stunning Wallasey Golf Club. We've just been outside and filmed. Of course, we've been outside because the golf course is out there. We didn't film it in this boardroom. We've been out on the course this morning playing with Mr. Joe Sefton, who's going to come on the pod very shortly, who is the club champion, back-to-back club champion, Tom.
What a player.
Yeah, what a player. He's done a lot of good things in golf. Very, very good. +4 handicapper. Final qualifying this year at Open, and then he had to come and film a video with me, so I feel sorry for him.
Not the highlight of his year, I don't think.
I don't know. I mean, it could be.
Although he's a lovely lad, so at least he pretended he had fun.
He was very impressive, wasn't he? +4.
Good golfer, very good golfer.
We won't give anything away about the match. That'll be coming out in about, it might be the back end of next week, I think, or the week after. So it'll be in the next 2 weeks. So do make sure you are checking that video out on the main channel, because it was really good. It was a fantastic match. The standard of golf.
I was just going to say, like you say, not to give anything away results-wise, but that was a great match of golf. It was an unbelievable match play game.
Yeah.
Up and down, and I don't know how many holes you halved, but it can't have been many. It might have been a few more back nine. It was a bit more steady.
Yeah,
but it was very up and down. It was a good match.
I think there was 2 holes halved in par, and then I think there was about 4 holes halved in birdie.
Is it too late to cancel the match and rebrand it as an in the red? Because that was definitely in the red.
Yeah, potentially.
Cancel the match.
Yeah, cancel the match. Done. Joe, we're actually taking you out of the video, and I might actually come out on top. Who knows? But yes, that was great. We're going to get Joe on very shortly. But before we do, Tom, we're going to get a little housekeeping done. We've got a few things to run through today. We've got overrated, underrated.
We have.
People liked that last time. There was a lot of love there. Pro V1 especially. Our mate Jeff enjoyed that one.
No Jeffs to be offended.
Yeah, we've got some questions that the viewers have and listeners have fired into us. If you don't already as well, make sure you're following the main Instagram, Matt Fryer Golf, the podcast one. Subscribe to the channel here, and info@mattfryergolf.co.uk if you do want any questions as well. If you're not on any social platform or anything like that, fire them over there. We've got golf day news.
We have.
Yeah. And comp news, Tom.
Let's do comp news first.
Comp news first.
As I keep challenging you to play certain things. First time it was Open Qualifier.
Yes.
And now you keep promising that you're going to focus on your game and you're going to get better mentally and you're going to get better with your technique and you're going to get more lessons, and you keep making all these promises.
Yeah.
And I need you to act on them. So I asked you last week to enter a competition. You said you would by this week.
Yeah.
And I would like to see the receipt of entry fee. I want to know that you've entered, please.
I haven't entered, but
Ooh.
Only because I was trying to find dates and times and everything that are lined up, and I wanted to get something that's in the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks, but I have got one lined up. I just need to actually go home and enter it today.
Can you tell us when and where so all the fans can turn up?
So it's Bolton, Lostock or Old Links, one of them. Can't quite remember.
No. You've just told me you know where you're playing and what you're playing.
It's Lostock.
Okay.
It just says Bolton on the thing.
That could be anywhere.
So, yeah, Bolton on the 2nd of September.
Okay.
So that gives me, what are we now, the 13th, is it? 13th, that gives me, 31 days in August? 18, That gives me 20 days till I peg it up in a competition today again, which I'm quite looking forward to now. After playing, so we filmed a match with Finchy last week.
Would you have been looking forward to it after filming with Finchy?
No. I've come off the back of an injury. Also, whether I had the vid or man flu or something else. In all honesty, if we hadn't had that tea time booked, I would have cancelled. If it was just us playing, I would have lads, I can't do this. But yeah, But even then, I felt like I learned a lot from Pete, even though he's someone who I've played with, and I think that'll come across in the video. This new sort of series that we've got going, and Pete was the start, and we've got one this week and one next week with some different levels of pro, shall we say. We're doing from all the way from YouTube all the way up to PGA Tour. We've got a player booked for each level, as it were, and it was quite interesting. Even playing with Pete, it made me approach it from a different view as I would normally. Normally, I'd be like, "Oh, we're doing record breakers, or we're just doing a matches," where it's for me to garner information and find out what it takes to win at certain levels and what it's like at those levels, what to expect. And I walked away from it and thought, I've played with Finchy, countless amount of times, social, filming, and I've never looked at it like that before, so it was quite good. And then obviously playing with Joe today, a great competitor, heard about his final qualifying, he's won countless amateur events as well, really good player. I'm getting the buzz for competition now, which I didn't think I would say 6 months to a year ago.
That's good. I mean, we will see 2 different Matt Fryers from filming last week with Finch and filming today with Joe.
It's because I don't like Finch.
I was there at both.
I don't like Peter Finch.
I know everybody says that a lot of the time. People will sort of say your mindset's not right. We get it in comments a lot of the time because it's no secret you are quite hard on yourself when you're not playing well.
Yeah, but it's a lot of tongue in cheek as well.
But yeah,
because I am a lot of whiffy with that banter.
Such a funny guy. But funny. Seeing you turn up at both days, so last Friday and today. You turned up as if, not necessarily that you'd prepped differently, but with a different attitude. You turned up today to play well, play good golf and win. You did. You went and played on Friday as if you were going to play with a mate, which is ultimately maybe the change in mentality you'd have to have going and playing with Pete because he is a mate. Yeah. You've got to try and put yourself into game mode because it was a different attitude today, I think. Yeah,
100%. And I think that's what I'm looking forward most to, and as we get into the talk with Joe shortly, I think that's something that he alludes to, and I am sort of looking forward to that winning comp mindset, as it were, and right, I've got to go out and play to win and be focused. So yeah, 2nd of September.
One of the Boltons.
I'm pretty sure it's locked. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it's Lostock. So yeah, hopefully it's not raining. Hopefully it's not muddy, and it'll be okay. Yeah.
And you've just announced Golf Day.
Yes,
it's just been pushed out on socials, and a few people have been keen to know the details. So what details have we got?
Yeah, so with the partnership that we had with Dukes, it's always something that I've wanted to do. Obviously, we have a lot of great followers over on the main channel. We get to speak and interact with a lot of people when we're out on trips and things like that. And when we're up in St Andrews, we bump into a lot of obviously golf purists and golf fans, and always, really nice to speak to them. And we chatted at the start of the year with the Dukes, and we thought that we were going to be doing a podcast. So they inquired with us whether, would you want to maybe do a golf day and do a bit of a podcast afterwards. Now, we're not saying it's going to be the most sold out event ever, but what I'm looking forward to is that we're going to be doing one in October. It's going to be a fun golf day, sort of a am format, best 2 from 4, team fun, trying to raise a bit of money for charity. Having some fun out on the golf course, showing off the Dukes, and then a bit of a barbecue afterwards, and then doing a podcast on that night as well, which I'll be looking forward to. So yeah, that's going to be pretty good. It's going to be happening in October on a Thursday, I think it is. I've not got specific dates yet. We're just running through everything, but we hope to have details out within the next sort of 2 to 3 next 2 weeks. We'll have details out basically, and it'll be loads going on and a great day, really.
And I'm sure people watching this will be thinking, well, can I enter? Who can enter?
Anybody, as long as you've got a handicap, pretty much, because there will be obviously a competition element to it. So as long as you've got a handicap, anyone can enter it. It will be a limited field. I think we're doing a shotgun start. I think we're having maybe 20, 22 teams tops. There'll be lots of prizes on offer. There's going to be a fee to pay, and like I say, we're trying to raise some money for charity along the way as well, so that'll be included in that. But yeah, overall, I think it should be a pretty good fun day, and then do a bit of a podcast and have a few beers with everyone who wants to stay and enjoy a little bit of nightlife around St Andrews.
Straight to the jigger.
Dumb vegan. and then we'll go to the Vic to top it off till 3 a.m.
Shotgun, not driving home the next day.
No, we'll get the train, and we're not filming a video at 7 a.m. the day afterwards. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So we will have more details to follow on that one. So make sure you are staying tuned to all the socials, and we'll get that out there. So if you are up that north part of the country, it'll be worth coming over and getting involved in that.
Even if you're not in the north part of the country, that's worth a drive.
It's worth
a trip.
Yeah, it'll be round Dunhill week as well, so it'll be banging. It'll
Even
be
better.
Slapping.
Such a good week
say,
to be
in St Andrews. So yeah, we will keep you posted on that. Right,
Matt. We've got Joe on today, so we'll move into questions and overrated, underrated fairly quickly, I think. So
yeah,
Joe has some good airtime.
Yeah, so let's we'll go to Joe, and then we'll come back and do our questions.
Giving Joe his time now.
We're gonna get Joe on because he's sat over there waiting, chomping at the bit, and he wants to come and share his glory on the pod. So let's head over and have a chat with club champion Mr. Joe Sefton. So now we have our club champion, Mr. Joe Sefton. Welcome to the pod, Joe.
Thanks, Matt. Pleasure to be here.
We're sat in the committee room overlooking the first tee of Wallasey Golf Course, which is Joe's home course, and a course that we've just been out to play our second video of our Club Champ series. How did you find the whole experience, Joe?
Yeah, it was good, mate. I watch a lot. I am a big YouTube watcher, I said to you before. I quite like the stuff, and it is very, very nerve-wracking, or you're very aware that there's people going to watch it, and you'll see some comments from my friends on social media who'll really enjoy some of it, particularly the start of the video, without giving it away. But yeah, it was good. It was very different, and you have an appreciation now of what it is actually like for someone to be watching every single shot of you. Yeah,
it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's weird, because obviously, so for people that don't know, and you'll find more out about Joe when you do see the Club Champion Series, but you're a +4 handicapper. You've won back-to-back club championships here. Not only that, you won the Frank Stableford, which is a 36-hole scratch competition that is here this year. You also got to final qualifying for the Open Championship this year and played with none other than Dan Brown at West Lancs. Yet, filming a Mickey Mouse YouTube golf video makes you nervous.
It does. Like you said, it is. It just keeps you honest. Is that the way of saying it? Of you don't have an appreciation. You can watch all these videos and say, "Oh, we do better than that," or "I wouldn't do this, we wouldn't do that," and then you get out there and the pressure's on now, so you do it. So hopefully we managed to settle down after the first few. So
yeah, I think it was a great match. There was a lot of birdies. I think we totaled 12 together and an eagle, which is always nice. A lot of back and forth in the match, which was good, and it was a tremendous day. We dodged the rain as well.
That was the best bit. Hopefully it'll be a good watch, won't it, for people?
Yeah, I think it will be. We've done the second one there with yourself. We've got another one. I think it's going to be at my home course, because the home champion, the club champion there, has won it 18 times in 40 years.
Fair play.
Not bad. You might have Guy Hindle, played some Cheshire stuff with Guy.
I know he is, I don't know him personally, but yeah, I know he is. Yeah,
he can golf the ball, so yeah, we're going to get that one done as well. But what, in terms of YouTube golf, obviously you say you watch quite a bit. What's your sort of go-to at the moment? Are you more of a playing sort of video, or do you like the tech stuff, teaching? What's your...
Yeah, I think it's seasonal again, isn't it? So I am a bit of a golf geek as well. So like we were saying, I think the new thing of my friendship circle, we all want to go and play these top 100 courses, and the access that you can see now without having to look at a course planner or a website, it's fantastic of watching someone play it. But then I love things of like instruction videos with certain people who you'd listen to.
Top names in coaching.
Names, exactly. But like I've said before, locally, I know who your dad is, and watch you get a lesson off your dad. As awkward as it is, parent-child arguments,
shut up, Dad.
It's informative, isn't it? And you respect it. But then Christmas time, you're always thinking about new clubs for the next year, and I enjoy watching tech videos as well. I love golf club. If we can have anything golf club, I enjoy it. So a bit of everything. But I'd say definitely the playing stuff is what would take me the most, and the podcast side as well.
And do you think, sort of, from, obviously you're a good player, do you think more like, I would definitely say 5 years ago, if you were sort of, around that sort of 3 handicap and below, and you're a good player, a lot of them wouldn't have watched YouTube. It'd be like, oh, look at these choppers playing. As well, it seems to feel now that, like, whether you're a +4 like yourself or you're a 28 handicapper, a lot of the golfing community are turning more to watching YouTube, sometimes over than DP, Live, PGA Tour. Would you?
I'd say definitely of people who are my close friends, who I speak about. If I when I tell them I'm going on this, I'll guarantee they'll all watch it. They'll all be interested in it, and I do think it's an easier watch as well, and it's relatable. You watch a DP player. If you've just started golf, you might have got good at it. You're off, an 18 handicap, which is ultimately quite good.
Yeah.
But you can't relate to what the DP are doing, can you? It's so different. They're so good. And that's where there's a stigma used to be about YouTube. You're right, of, well, I'm a good player, I don't need to watch it. Well, we're not that good. Amateurs aren't, no one's that good. And that's what I'd say to people that don't sort of judge it. Just take it for what it is. It's enjoyment. It's bringing something that was never accessible to us before. So that's the bit I like about it.
I think there's the personality side as well, isn't there? Like we sort of, and we'll get into it in a minute, you played with Dan Brown. It was a great story with him, at the Open Championship, but all we got was the story of the golf. Like, I don't feel like, I sort of know he was from Sheffield, but I don't feel like I know him anymore now, and he's sort of disappeared. Like, he's gone back to playing DP. I don't watch DP, so I don't know how he's done in his events, after the Open Championship, as where, with a YouTuber, you could sort of, I'll say it's Pete Finch or Rick or Grant Horvat, you can sort of watch that journey of them and go, oh, well, they were struggling with the driving. Now he's really worked on it and he's done that, and you get that sort of journey as well, and sort of see how they grow as a person as well as the golf.
There is characters out there, isn't there? Like I said, when I played with him, it was like, I don't mean to speak, I've met him once for one day, but you spend 12 hours with someone, and it really was, golf was just, it's his life, but it looked like it meant nothing.
Yeah.
It was fantastic to see, but he'd be a great story now of never played in the Open. He was on Europro, COVID hit, he's won on Challenge, he's won on DP, and it's a fantastic thing to talk about. He is just, golfers are normal people at times, aren't they? And you do put them on a pedestal to the point, but it'd be great to hear his full story of how it come about.
Yeah, it would be interesting, and I think, that's where I think they could do such a better job as well with some of like the PGA Tour, the DP, like one of obviously the smash hits was the Netflix Full Swing, wasn't it? Like, you got to know some characters there, and like you look at someone like an Alex Fitzpatrick in his brother's shadow pretty much, because he's a major winner, but now probably more people know his name maybe, or than Matt. Definitely. And sort of relate to him more, because it's like, oh, there's that kid Alex who's gone through that Netflix show, and it felt a bit YouTubey almost what they were doing there, and it'd be great to see more of that.
Who'd have thought Brooks had a bit of a vulnerability side to him as well?
Yeah.
I just thought he was this big
stud,
bold, brash. Yeah, I just turn up and win majors, I'm that good, and he actually was like the rest of us, had his worries, and it was not. And now you sort of see, you almost appreciate what he was doing.
Yeah.
Feeling like that sometimes as well, don't you? So that's the good side to it as well. But I think YouTube definitely brings the fun element out in it. I think that's what I would take it for, is that it's relatable to us all.
Yeah.
And there's different things, isn't there? There's people who have been doing it for years, like yourselves, usually probably the big four, as you say, but then there's like a Trotty who's fantastic. Brilliant, with tech, and from my perspective, I think it could get lost on a lot of people if you don't understand it, or you don't want to understand it. But then you've got Tony Bellew coming on to do it now as well.
Mad
So and he seems golf mad, and I think
loves
Tubes
it.
and Bullard seems that was a great shame he didn't do his Open thing like yourselves, because it's interesting to see, for me, as a relatable, how do they get on? Because they're good players, they're really good players.
If I was doing Open qualifying next year again, you've seen me play today. Where do you see, what, like, A, would you want from the video, and B, where would I need to improve to get through? Cut my clubs in half to get in the bin easier.
Well, you putt well enough, don't you? Putt really well.
Obviously.
Chip well, you think well. I think it's probably a bit of a, I'm not going to say a confidence, because you're confident in your ability, but because, and I'm not sort of boistering up or doing you a favour, you probably don't play that much in competition. So as a sharpness, you'll stand there and think, and you'll reach for your 2-iron a bit more, whereas the practice round, like we were talking about off camera, you're just gunning it down there, and that might be believing it. I think your drive is probably your best club, and you're actually really strong when you're hitting it. I know that there might be a couple today where people laugh what I'm saying, but we're playing in like...
Is he smoking something?
You're playing in a left to right wind, cold, 7:30 in the morning. It's not easy, do you know? But then the ones that you're hitting well, I think that's where I would say of just pure... more sort of pressurized practice, or an environment where you can sharpen them skills, because there's definitely some shots there, like, you know, there's one on 15 which it won't give it away what happened, but you've played a tough shot and it won't come across on camera. You know, a steep upslope, really tight lie, and it's like you've got all the skills to do it. It's probably and it's a bit of luck as well. You know, you've got to I think this all the time. You can turn up and I can tell you're on the first tee whether my body's moving great or it's not, and you might get the odd bit of luck, you might get a drop somewhere, or you just might play well on that exact day. It's so hard to peak, isn't it, for
that one round.
That's all I'd say, is just a little bit more. You've probably gone away from being a good player, playing a lot of amateur stuff, going to do your PGA, doing a lot of coaching, a lot of shop, building your business, and now sort of probably play more.
Get more
rounds like what you're doing today.
And from a video standpoint, is it like the prep leading up to it? You think that's the interesting story, not the actual round?
I'd love to know what you were doing. I mean, me personally, I say this all the time. Everyone will laugh at me now, but this winter I want to go to the gym and see what off the course stuff you could do on the course and things like that. And it's great to see whatever you'd be working on, whether it's a lesson with your dad, whether he feels there's a certain shot that you struggle with and you want to get round that, or it is something like you might, I don't know, there could be the way you go about your practice round, notes you take. Maybe you get a professional caddy in who can say, we'll watch you in a round, and he'll have a set of eyes then on you. Only like I was lucky enough to have Jamie, who's our pro, who's done it as a profession as well. So that was a help to have him as well. So something like that maybe as an option.
Good thoughts there. So talking Open, you obviously made it all the way to final qualifying, which is amazing in itself. Was that the first time you got through?
It's the first time I've ever done regional and final.
Oh, was it? Right. One hit wonder.
So it was, I'd never something that really interested. Obviously I want to play in the Open, but it just never thought, I'd never thought about it. I'm probably a bit cynical of, well, it's £200 not to play in the Open type of things. And luckily enough, one of my friends sponsored me through his business, which was really nice of him to do. And then played well at Caldy. It was nice. I've played Caldy thousands of times, and it was nice being 10 minutes. You know, yourself, like you probably had to stay over where you were going and stuff. But I was sleeping in my own bed 10 minutes away. A golf course I've played thousands of times, and you felt comfortable. And I played well. I really did play well. I must have.
Did you win that one, or were you?
No, I was second.
Right.
So someone. There was a guy from Lancashire, an amateur, shot 67.
Wow.
And then there was 3 or 4 on 69. So I was the best of the 69s on a count back, if you like. And then I think 1 under qualified in a 7-man playoff. But I think a lot of the reserves ended up getting in, which was good. But it was a great buzz about everything about, I think.
And then
if you're a realist, it's sort of getting the iron, getting your open tees, your water bottle, all this type of stuff. It's just a bit of a professionalism.
It's an amazing thing, isn't it?
Medal, isn't it?
Yeah. So what was like the week leading up to final call then? You've made it through. Are you sort of ramping up your practice? Are you down? You played West Lancs. Did you go and play a few more rounds there, or what did that look like?
It was quite a bit of a time of, I'm like now I'll say like I've played a lot of golf and I get into bad habits when I've played a lot. So we'd had our county stroke play, which had done okay in, finished 4th, and I was leading going to the last round. And then on the Monday, so that was Thursday, Friday, 36 Saturday, I sort of got to cold, you know, it's a bit like, it was in the way. It's just
this
like, you know,
God.
Yeah, you know, but then when I played really well, I can't tell you the sort of in my mind all the time, I was just thinking about going to West Lancs. And then we got there I think I was busy on the Sunday, so I went on the Monday practice round.
Yeah.
Really late. Had a bit of a panic on the range with Jay, and luckily he coaches me, so I was like, just keep hitting out the heat, I'm hitting out the shaft. You're playing the strongest golf course off the tee, off black tees, which you don't play ever up other than that event. So, but it was just amazing, like the Rolex signs up, you know, the clocks, like there's wind direction, there's more information they give you, there's you get a player's badge, all this sort of stuff.
The one thing that we would give, like when we were on the tour truck at the Open, they do this thing called gravities on the green. Have you heard of this?
No.
So they do this every week on the PGA Tour and the Open. I don't know if they do it on the DP, but they measure how much the ball bounces off the green. Okay. So how many gravities is it? And Ben Griffin's caddy, Lexi, was like, oh, it's 118 today. And I was like, well, that means nothing to me. And he was like, PGA Tour's 108 as an average. So this is 180. So there's so much that goes into it, isn't it?
I'd never thought of that. We've always just had stimp, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
I was like, what?
It was just amazing. The whole place looked different as well,
Yeah.
And even Monday
different feel
Tuesday
as
morning,
well.
Yeah, it was. It was just everyone was buzzing. Everyone had a caddy with them. Everyone's writing notes down. No one's just going there for a. And I don't think I believed enough that I've probably had the best 12 months of my golf, and if I was ever going to do it, it was probably then. And I wish I did go there. If I'd done it again, I will, and I will do it for future now, because I feel like, as stupid as it sounds, final qualifying to me is like playing in the Open. It's that to me.
Yeah, it's a big event, isn't it?
If I got on the Open, I'm not going to be turning pro. I'm not going to do anything from it. It'll just be the best life experience ever. And while you can do it, I'll try. But it was so good at West Lancs. It was worth the £200
just to get that.
Exactly, yeah. And it was just amazing. The aura around the place, it was all marshalled. There was no one around. It was just so surreal.
Yeah.
Like saying,
it's like a tour event, isn't it?
It
like like you say, maybe your only chance of feeling what actually maybe a PGA DP Live player actually gets to feel, in terms of there's your card, there's your thing, and then, all right, move aside, please. There's players coming through. You do feel it's an amazing feeling. You've achieved it.
On the tee, or it was just, you were pampered for a while. That's right. It was lovely to really, it really was. But on the day as well, it was just, there's so much you learn from it, isn't there? In an experience like that of getting there on the morning, it was. I played quite well. I made 3 bogeys, 7, 8, and 9 from the middle of the fairway in the morning, and went from like 1 under to 2 over. Yeah, and it was just, I think I was 4 or 5 over. I think I shot 3 over or 4 over and 2 over in the afternoon. Yeah, and I just never quite got it going really to get close enough. But it was just
still very respectable, isn't it? Because West Lanc is brutal.
So smack bang middle of the pack. Out the 72, I was 36th.
And there's a good ruck of players. Did Garcia played in front of you?
Yeah, behind.
Did you? Behind.
Garcia's behind, yeah. So
was he the one you were hurling abuse at?
I had a lot of people actually, which was weird. So I probably had over 100 people watching me, just to my friends and family and stuff, and members from the golf club and people I'd played football with, and it was just it was really good. And there was one moment I actually chipped in on 10, and it was like an actual
good chip in that.
I missed it right, awful shot from the middle of the fairway over a trap. And I'm not the best. Chipping's probably something I'd probably, and I'm a bit like, oh, make sure you don't duff it in the bunker. Hit it up and it goes in, and there was this huge roar. And obviously where we're from, and even Dan Brown was like, I didn't know what to do, whether to go, I don't wear a cap, but it like tipped me club up, or I just felt so awkward. Yeah. But it was great, like. And I said, they were all coming to watch.
Do you not do a knee slide across the green? big running.
And that's what I wish I'd done. Like, I've got a couple of videos, a hole of great putt on 9 in the afternoon, and there's loads of people around the green, and it goes in from about 25, 30 foot, and there's a big wow, and it's great to look back on. I'll never ever forget it. It was. But the other side of it is, I wish I did go there with a bit of belief. Like I was just saying to you about the regional stuff, and what would you do, and a bit of confidence and belief, because you watch. Jay was good to be there, because he was like, he doesn't get overawed by it because he's seen them all before. But even Dan Brown, you look at it and it's like, it's not ultra different, but they've got an aura around them, the way they walk, the way they talk. They just deserve to be there. And that's how they.
It's like they've got a force field, isn't it? It's just like nothing's getting in here today, nothing's bothering me. Yeah. We're just here to hit this ball around the field at least times as possible.
I got a great group, because he was the other lad we played with. Jack was a lovely lad, and for a pro, I was expecting him to take a while. He was so quick. Yeah, he was really quick, and that suited me because I play quickly as well. So it was just I was really lucky, to see someone actually qualify right in front of me. And it's not like.
What did he shoot?
He was 5 under total. So he shot 71, 68. Oh. So it was really good. Like, I think sitting down at lunch, there was a few 4 or 5 unders in the morning. Yeah, a couple of them went backwards and a couple of them went forwards. So it was.
And how many went through? 4 people.
So he was 6, Sam Horsfield and Matt Dodberry, who's a lad
Oh
from
yeah,
Hoylake,
Sam went through.
I know Matt really well and his family and stuff, and that was a lovely moment because I know his mum and dad, and Matt had just come back from America, and his mum and dad are on the side of the green, his brother, big hug, and he qualified for the Open.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It was really, the whole day was just, there was loads of little things that were just great, and then, but for Dan to do it, he held a 25-footer on the last as well.
Did he?
So
Oh, wow.
that was good.
Brilliant. And Dan himself, Dan Brown, that you played with, was he good company? Did you learn a lot from him?
Yeah, do you know what? I really did. He impressed me of like, it wasn't sort of, he didn't just bomb it round. He understood links golf. You could tell he played high-level amateur golf, and something in a left to right wind, which you may see or may not see on this video, where I might struggle with it sometimes, but he was just, it was just, he never tried to do anything that was out of his comfort zone. Everything was under control. His pace putting was phenomenal. So he was really good. He just seemed it was just a normal person. There was nothing about him. He'd start conversations, I'd start them, and I didn't want to pester him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like, you want to stay out of his way because it's like, it's his livelihood, but
Yeah.
really you should be a bit like, well, to level.
Tell me everything.
Yeah, and he would. He was really good. He was a United fan, which was good as well.
Brilliant.
So
Yeah, top bloke.
United fan, that made so I seen that on the first tee. He had like an old retro head cover, and I just said, "Oh, we'll get on." And he was like, "Oh, I was not expecting you to say that with your accent." So no, it was good. He was that really impressed me though, of how easy he made it look.
Yeah,
it was like I'm just doing this on my way to go to my next event.
Yeah,
but it meant, you know, seeing it, and then like you just said about DP World, I'll follow him now probably.
Yeah, he's a character
DP
for
World,
you,
because it's like, well, I actually played with him, so that's a good thing to come from it.
He's like you say, what you described there, that's what everyone saw at the Open, wasn't it? It was like, goes out, first round leader, he's going to falter. Didn't falter second round. He's going to didn't do it on the third.
No, didn't do
and
it
you know, it's like even on the fourth, he just drifted a little bit, but it wasn't like, you know, a capitulation, and it was just like, right, he's just here to play golf, just about the process, ball down there, right, next one goes up there, right, tap that in, right, next hole, where is it?
He said that, and I said, loads of me mates were texting me if you backed him, and loads of them are backing him 1,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Because they just come to watch at West Langston, they thought, oh, he's 1,000 to 1. I've just watched him breeze
murder
around
it.
the hardest golf course, like it was nothing. And I did say to everyone, I was like, I do think he can win it, because one thing I didn't think he'd get overawed by the situation. He wasn't fazed by it being the Open. It looked like it was just another event. And the bit on Twitter where he's taking the selfie with the kid as he's having whatever they call it. What did they call it?
Darts.
Darts on Twitter, and it was great, wasn't it? It's nice to see an actual
human,
relatable someone. He's not getting told to go and stretch or do media, and it was just completely off the cuff. And it was good on him. He's in next year. That's an even better.
Yeah, that was that was the best bit. That was all I was hoping for. That whole Sunday. He got
2 bad lies late on as well, but he was in bunkers and stuff, so he did really well.
Brilliant. Right, well, thank you for coming on, Joe. If you haven't, make sure you do check out the video that will be coming out in the next week or so with Joe. Big thank you to Wallacey as well for having us down here. It was an absolute pleasure. So
my pleasure. Cheers, Matt.
Thanks very much, Joe. Thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, back in the room, Tom.
Fine guy, lovely lad, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you know what? He was a fantastic golfer. Fantastic. Like some of the, do you know what was amazing? He just ground it out, didn't he?
Did.
There was, like I say, there was a lot of birdies in that match. But and what he was alluding to there with Dan Brown, how he said like golf's just what he does, and he just sort of goes about his business. It never got away from him. That's what I felt like watching him today. Yep. It was like, there we go, drives down the fairway. Okay, 7 irons into 20 foot. Always hold it.
He mentioned there that chipping was, I don't think he said a weak part, but he said it wasn't a strong bit. His chips today
hit
were
some
stunning.
Good chips, yeah. I was
like, really
good.
Right,
okay, yeah. Can you show me the weak part of your game, please?
Watch one on the back of 12, and he sort of goes toe down. It was a really tough chip shot, not much room to play with, and he just clipped it, nudged it close, and job done. I think you give him the
tough shot that as well.
And then
generous guy.
You were nowhere near a little bit earlier in the round, but you were back edge of the green, I think, so you couldn't hear what he was saying. He called the shot he was going to play, and he sort of said, just around about that sprinkle ahead.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can't miss left because I'll run sort of down to where Matt is, which I don't want to be over there. And I'll just sort of roll it up. And he hit the shot, and it was almost just like Oh yeah, like
Oh,
that,
yeah, like that,
like
right,
just like
yeah.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, great player.
A
And
bloody good golfer and a
Yeah.
bloody good chap as well. Very nice. It was really fun to be out there with him for 18 holes of golf. So, if you haven't already, make sure you do go and check out that video. It'll be coming out later on in the week. So, yeah, right. Questions, Tom?
Into our questions.
Oh no, are we going overrated, underrated first? Let's go overrated, underrated.
Go on, you like a bit of this, don't you?
this
And I
is
know
what
you've got
enjoyed
some
it.
loaded up.
Yeah.
I know you have. Go for it. Hit me.
Right, first one. Like, are pink teas overrated or underrated?
Or just pink teas?
No, pink castle teas.
Oh, pink castle teas. I feel like people lose a little bit of respect when they use them. However, the class. First of all, I don't quite know how they are rated. We need to know where they're rated. First of all, they're used a lot. Aren't they?
Like, because this is how it would go. Wooden tee is like your top tier. You're a
Player.
baller if you're using a wooden tee. A short wooden tee. Phew.
Hang on a minute. I had so much respect for Robert Rock using one at the Open. He was using a pink castle tee.
Exactly. So then you would like always put pink underneath it.
Yeah, okay.
Silver castle tee, meh. White, pff, no. Red one for your iron. Get a grip.
Get out.
Yeah, get a grip. But pink castle tee, is it sneaky underrated?
Yeah, I think underrated for most golfers, for your average golfer.
Yeah.
It brings in consistency, doesn't it?
I think if you're any more than a scratch handicapper, you should have a pink castle tee.
Whole bag of them.
Yeah, you should have those in your bag for your driver. Consistency of how high you're pegging it.
I wonder where that sits in a pro shop sort of inventory check. Biggest seller up there?
Got to be up there with water, hasn't it?
I think so. Can
What do you reckon? What do you reckon they sell more, water or pink castle teas?
Hi, pro. Can I have 4 bottles of water, a Bakewell flapjack, and a pack of those pink castle teas,
those
please?
pink castles. They are, but then like when you see some golfers as well, it's like they are drug addicts when they find them. It's like, where did my tea go? Where did you go? If I don't get my tea back, I can't go on the next. Where am I going? Where am I going? Where's the tea? Where's the tea? You're like, Tony, it's just down there. Oh, thank God.
Tony's only got one pink
Tony's
castle
got
tea.
one pink castle tea that he's had since 1972. He's actually taped it up as well a little bit to make sure it doesn't break.
Do you remember? You don't see them much anymore. Used to have them as a junior, the really thick, indestructible teas. They weren't castle teas, but they were always in like yellow or white or red, bomb-proof.
Do you mean
Almost to the point where if you
like a
used
winter
one,
tea?
No, they were a really thick piece of plastic to the point where if you used one on a par 3, it would be sort of 2.5 inches in the ground.
Yeah.
And if you caught it slightly heavy,
Oh,
your
yeah.
club would break
Yeah,
before
yeah,
the tee did.
Yeah.
It'd almost stop your swing
Yeah,
at
they
impact.
would just bend, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have them for weeks,
Years.
months.
Yeah.
You had to lose that in the grass to lose it.
Yeah, they were
I like
more
that, Matt.
reliable than some mortgages they were.
My verdict is, like we say, above scratch. The verdict is probably underrated.
Underrated.
But I struggle to say underrated
Are you
because I
gonna get
think they are quite highly rated. Everyone plays them.
Are you going to get a bag then?
I'll play
See?
the next the next video
That you're on.
we film.
You are pink
I'll
castle
play
tea.
pink castle teas.
Love it. Right.
That's it. Done.
Yeah.
I'm in.
You go.
Okay, I'm actually going to go with one from a listener. It's Colin Wallace.
Yes.
He has said, carrying your golf bag,
Yeah.
overrated or underrated?
I think if you're going out for a full 18, overrated. If you're going for a little stroll and you're playing 9, I think a pencil bag is the most underrated thing.
Oh, a little Sunday bag.
Yeah, a little throw a few clubs
6
in.
clubs.
Yeah, and off you go. Like that is just like, and you just sort of like throw it over your shoulder. You've got a few balls in there, maybe 3 or 4 pink castle teas, a glove, and you just off and you go. And you're like, right, and then you just chuck it in the car once you're done. And maybe you're on holiday or something like that with the family. That's very underrated. But for a standard round of golf, I think it's overrated.
I agree. It was almost again feels like a pride thing when you're younger. People don't go into. I didn't go into a trolley early enough. Once I got one,
yeah,
I couldn't believe how good it was. I got one because of a shoulder injury. So
I've got
thought,
mine because of my feet, and
I can't carry because shoulder's bad. I'll get a trolley temporarily, and
game
now
changing,
I'm
isn't
just
it?
not carrying anymore.
Yeah, if like I didn't have to have the big bag and everything like that, I'd love just a trolley all the time.
Have all the
Or a caddy.
all the snacks,
Yeah,
all the bottles of water, all the castle
just
teas,
handy.
extra golf balls.
Yeah.
Especially for a course like Wallasey.
Yeah, I took 24 sleeves out today.
How many did you lose? Did you lose any today?
Can't remember. One.
Yes, one. One ball lost.
Yeah, so overrated / underrated for a Sunday bag.
Yeah, Sunday bags definitely underrated because you don't see enough of them.
No.
And then I think probably trying to carry a sort of double strap normal bag round, probably overrated.
Yeah.
So you've got two answers there, Colin, and we're just going to sit on the fence because it's what we like to do.
Links golf. Overrated, underrated.
I think it's underrated by your higher handicappers.
Yeah.
Because it's tough and brutal and the grass is disgusting.
Disgusting.
You don't like missing around links courses, do you? If it's windy and you're hitting it all over the place.
Yeah.
/ SNA with Finchy.
SNA, yeah.
Then you don't want to be there. For pros or low handicappers, I think it's rated just about right.
Yeah.
We all know how good it is. It's my favourite golf.
I think it's underrated. I
Please
think
explain.
they should shut every parkland course in the world today, and links golf should be the only form. So Heathland and like if I was rating golf types, links, top by like country mile.
Yeah.
Then you go Heathland and Moorland, and then Parkland. Like links golf is so good, even though round Formby I didn't play great golf. Score, like, actually, from how bad I played, my score wasn't horrific. But even walking off it, and when you're walking through, like, the dunes and stuff like that, and the condition of the course, and there's one shot that I hit on there. 12, was it? 11?
You'll have to explain the shot first.
11, chip.
Yeah, okay.
How, like, that is cool.
Nice.
Like, super cool. I think it just opens up so much creativity, and there's it's understandable why the Open Championship is the best championship, because it's the purest form of golf.
Yeah, we spoke about this last week.
Scotland, when they have the Scottish Open, brilliant. Ireland, like when they have the Irish Open, should always be a links course, brilliant. Imagine like we had 10 more events on links on pro golf. Just be class. It'd be carnage, but it'd be class.
Carnage.
Yeah, it'd just be brilliant. I just think it's so, like, I know it's highly rated, but I still even think people don't appreciate, like, the architecture and, like, the way that the game's meant to be played.
I agree.
On links.
It gives you, it makes you use your imagination.
Yeah.
It punishes you when it should do, and it can be very fair as well.
Yeah.
And it makes you a more skilled player because you've got to control your ball flight. You've got different conditions to play in.
Yeah.
I mean, you played out there today, and it actually played quite soft. It didn't play real linksy. It didn't play fair.
Yeah, it wasn't super fiery.
So you would expect maybe to have to hit low shots around links and let the ball roll. You couldn't have done that today. You had to play a slightly higher ball flight. The wind didn't really get up, not too much. And yeah, you've got to play a lot of different games and use your imagination around links. So we've just banished Parkland courses.
It's done the closing every course in the world.
We don't like discrimination on this podcast, but you've just discriminated against everyone in Birmingham. They've got to drive 2.5 hours to get themselves to a golf course.
Yeah, but when they get to the course, they'll be like, oh my God, how good's this?
But it's just taking them 12 hours to go for a round of golf.
Yeah, but they're going to appreciate it more.
Yeah, day away from the kids. 12-hour day, 14-hour day.
Thank me later.
That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, there you go. See, solving problems here.
Have you got any more?
Yes.
Go on.
Pro golf, i.e. PGA Tour, DP, Live, LPGA Tour, televised pro golf, overrated, underrated.
Again, I'm trying to just figure out quickly in my head how it is rated. I feel like it's been given, if we were to go onto social media or sort of sit in our world, I think it gets quite a lot of criticism. So I think at the minute it seems to be rated quite low anyway. And I would say that I don't know the answer to the question.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is a tough one.
Is it overrated? Or is it underrated?
Well, I don't think it's rated very highly at the minute.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
But
people,
is it even that rating too high?
Especially in sort of our world, people are just, you on Twitter, people slate the way they broadcast it all the time.
Yeah.
So I think it's rated quite low anyway.
It's a tough one, isn't it? I like the job of it. I like the competition of it.
Yeah.
But then, like, I would struggle to watch, let's say, the Czech Open randomly, or what was it this week? The Wyndham.
Don't know.
PGA
major season's over.
Like not great that Aaron Rai won. Brilliant, love that. Top bloke. Me and my golf coaching, brilliant. So really proud, really happy for them to go on and do something. But am I bothered about the Wyndham Championship?
So you want the answer to be overrated on this, don't you?
I don't know.
Is that what you're thinking?
No, but then, like, I think to like when Scottish Open's on, absolutely love it.
Yeah.
When like the Irish Open's on, love it. Open, love it. Any major, love it. Olympics, I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch it. Watch some of the women's, watch the men's.
Okay, just so I can answer your question then. Major golf is rated quite highly, and I think it's rated about right. Everybody loves it. The Irish Open, Scottish Open, and British Masters, that little swing.
So the flagship events.
I think those stuff are underrated because I don't think they're rated highly enough.
Yeah.
And then I think it's very difficult to rate I don't want to call them non-event, but the ones you've just mentioned, the Czech Open. I think they're, again, we struggle for a rating, and they're probably rated about right.
Yeah.
So it's those little flagship British ones that I think are underrated because people check out of the Open, or maybe before they've checked into the Open, they don't check into the Scottish Open first.
Yeah.
And I think we missed the trick a little bit with the British Masters and so on.
Do you know what I would say? If we were to go tour, DP is underrated. Yeah. Because there's a lot of good golfers on there, like seriously good, and we have some seriously good golf courses as well, a la, those you just mentioned. And even, some of the regional stuff, the Italian Open, the Czech, the other things. I think there could be so much done with that.
There's no doubt that the players and the tour is underrated.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's helped by the
PGA Tour, which is probably overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's helped by the way it's televised or advertised. You've solved a lot of problems over the last couple of weeks, all to do with broadcasting golf as well.
I think I could be the next Prime Minister.
Okay.
Or the head of some
head of golf societies.
Head of golf, yeah. Now head of golf.
Head of golf.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm glad I'm self-titled that myself.
Same. Whatever you want to call yourself, Matt.
Oh, brilliant.
I'll just keep calling you Matt for now, yeah?
Yeah, just Matt.
So you move into number 10.
Sir, if you can.
Sir Matt.
Right, should we move on to some questions now I've solved all the problems in golf?
Yes, let's move into a few. People quite liked the sort of overrated and underrated Pro V1s last week. We got a lot of comments on that.
So
and somebody, for a question, has kind of said, well, if the Pro V1 is the best premium ball, then what's the best mid-priced and low-priced golf ball? So I suppose we're sort of laughing last week because too many people are playing the Pro V1s. But if we're saying to them, that's overrated, don't do it.
Yeah, Jeff, you're listening.
What should Jeff do instead?
Jeff, I meant, AD33 if I was going sort of top tier of mid-price.
Mid-range, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be straight into a Strixon AD33.
Why?
Very good golf ball. It's, in terms of its performance characteristics, good durability, doesn't sort of like one hit wonder. It goes scuffed with one wedge and throw it away, which you want from that. You don't want to be some of like those tour balls that you try, the premium tour balls that are at a cheaper price point. They fall apart when you hit one shot with them.
When was the last time you seen me thin a wedge from a greenside bunker?
A lot, yeah.
Split it in half.
Exactly. You would be a lot of smiley faces on your balls. So yeah, I'll go Strixon AD33 is a good price point. The Strixon Distance at the other end, like $9.99 a dozen, I think they are, is a good ball. The Callaway Super Soft golf ball, very, very good. The Mizuno RB556, I think it is. Again, another mid-tier golf ball at a mid-tier price point that's going to get lots of good playing characteristics, good compression, decent spin rates, feels nice. So just, I'd be sort of in those price points. The Vice golf balls as well. They're cheaper.
Yeah.
And again, good performance from those golf balls as well. So, yeah, if you pick one of those four, you're probably
on the right
yeah,
tracks.
you wouldn't be too far away. Don't buy lake balls ever.
No.
Ever.
Yeah, don't think, fine, I won't go and buy the Pro V1s then.
Yeah,
I'll go and buy the Pro V1 lake balls.
No, you may as well just actually go to the toilet, take that £20, tear it in half if you can, and flush it down the toilet, because that is what a lake ball is.
But then you've got no golf balls to play with.
Well, you may have, don't matter, because you're playing with a lake ball.
Quick golf.
Yeah, give up. So, yeah, I'll go down that route of those 4 golf balls. I think you'll find something. And also, just I'll tell you what is a really good golf ball, Wilson Duo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Wilson Duo soft for that sort of price point and sort of player at that level. Very, very good golf ball. So just try as well. It's all, testing. One ball might be preferred by someone and might not work for another person. But, if you're only spending 20 quid on a dozen or 15 quid, at least you can have a little bit of a try and sort of, do you know what, I liked that Wilson one a bit more. It felt better to me. It had a better line when I was putting or something. So, yeah.
That was from Go Blue 1101.
Go Blue.
There's your answer. City fan, do you think? Maybe. I've just spent the morning with 3 United fans. I didn't realise Joe was a United fan until he said it in his little part of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's disappointed me. He's from round here. What's he doing?
He's made good life choices. Good life choices.
I don't think so. I don't agree.
Overrated.
Yeah. We've got Ryan Gay RG. How is it possible to shoot 76 on a Sunday morning and then 95 on a Monday night? That's a rough day in work on Monday, isn't it?
Well, it was either that or he went on a massive sesh on Sunday afternoon. He went, you know what, Sunday's now the new Saturday. I am on it, lads. And he didn't get in till 4 on Monday morning. Felt rough and then just winged 3 out of bounds. But it's very simple. You can, it's not guaranteed that oh, well, I shot 75 last time I played, so you now deserve a 75 next time you play. Your body could feel a little bit different. You might not be in control of it. You might have had your round of your life, preparation going into it, the course that you've played, and it's a bloody tough game as well. Like, some days it just doesn't go right. And if, you can find yourself out there, it's a lonely place when it's not going right. And you get on a course and, you're just struggling to keep control of it. And that's where, you can start to rack up big numbers. And I think that's where, like, watching Joe play today, he sort of just played, and then he said about Dan Brown in his findings when he played with him at Open Qual, just sort of played within himself. It's like he didn't impress me with his ball striking today, Joe. It wasn't like, oh my God, he's off +4, he hits it so good. It was just like, he just plots everything so well, and I think that's where the amateur, the mid to high handicappers, beginners can learn a lot as well. It's not like you don't have to hit perfect shots every time. It might be, do you know what, driver's really not going well today. I keep necking it, but I've got this fade, so I know I can work with it. I'm going to lose a little bit of distance, but I'll just allow for it. Or I'll go to my hybrid and plod it round. So it can be, if you don't know how to sort of manage the bad.
I was just going to say, it's managing the misses. We spoke with Joe about it on the 12th today, because didn't hit his best shot, but he made sure he got past the hazards of the bunkers.
Exactly.
So he didn't miss into a pop bunker, he didn't miss in the wrong place, and understanding that if you let's say on Ryan 76, that was him just hitting it bullet
Best
straight
ever,
all day,
yeah.
hitting it really nicely,
Lightly.
and controlling it around, bullet straight everywhere. He just didn't really miss much that day. The next day, he might have only missed by 15 yards on all the shots, but they've all been in the wrong places, and that snowballs and gets worse and worse.
Exactly. It's knowing your ability, like Joe's done there. Like you say, there's a shot out on the video that you'll go and see that he's sort of played for a worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So we could all, say, well, I hit, my 7-iron 165 when it goes brilliant. And if the pin's 163, but at 158, there's some water in front of the green, and actually your mediocre ones are only going 155, you're in the drink every day, aren't you? So I think it's, sometimes we can over-egg our ability and be done by it as well. If we, go on the other side of it, under-egg it and say, well, I don't think I'll get by that with that, and club up, actually, you turn out hitting a mediocre 6-iron, and it's closer than when you hit your best 7-iron. So, yeah, there's multiple ways that it
the
can
other
happen.
part of it as well for Ryan is just understanding that that is golf, that you've got a low score and you've got a high score. I had someone come for their
S&A
policy
today.
Yeah, you've gone Friday to Tuesday.
Yeah.
And two completely different players.
Went on so many big sessions as well over the weekend.
Somebody come in for the introductory lesson with me yesterday, and the first thing they said is, I want consistency, and I shot 75.
Did you point them in the video that we released last week?
I did. I said, Matt's got loads of those titles.
Here we go. There's an hour. Do you want a coffee? We'll sit down and watch this now.
Yeah, he said, but when he said consistency, he said, I can shoot anywhere between 75 and 83. And I was like, well,
that's good, mate. Well done.
Quite good consistency. That's a small buffer.
Yeah.
Because I always think that, even think about your scores now, you've got the ability to go, let's say,
60, 105.
Okay? Let's say you go 6 deep. You have the ability, and that might happen one in 20, 25 rounds. Yeah. Okay. You also have the ability to shoot 82, 84, which also happens one in 25. 20 rounds.
Yeah.
So both ends of the spectrum happen very rarely, but they can happen. Yeah. And then you've probably got that sort of 2 under to 6 over, where you sit in most of the time. Yeah. But it's still not consistent. You don't go and shoot 72 with 18 pars every round. No. That's the whole point of the game.
18 holes of golf isn't consistent, is it? From shot to shot. So, yeah, I think, understand your ability and then sort of manage it.
There you go, Ryan.
There you go.
Okay, J Clark 449.
Yeah.
What are 3 key areas to focus on to break 80?
Okay, we do have videos coming out on this, so I'll breeze through this one very quickly. Number 1, play to the fat of the greens. Number 2, become very good at lag putting, because that's going to help you limit 3 putts. If you can't do that, you'll start doing it. And then finding sort of some reliability off the tee. So there's a shot that you can go to that when it's either tight, you're a little bit nervous, or there's some bunkers in the play, or whatever it is, you can say, right, well, I've got this one shot. It might not be my best struck shot, but I know it gets me down to 220, 250, whatever it may be, and I can start to build a score from there.
Yeah, agree with all of them. And 220 yards off the tee, by the way, is plenty.
Yeah.
To be
if you're breaking 80, scores.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You don't need to be trying to send it out there 270.
Yeah.
Nice and simple. Jamie Butt 93. How can you transfer a good practice session to the course, as it rarely seems to happen?
I would say it's how you're practicing. So if you're going onto the range, you're just hitting balls willy-nilly out on a fit, let's say you go to Trafford and you're just on the driving range, rip. Oh, I hit it. I'm the best range player in the world. I strike it so good. I hit it bullet straight every time. Get to the first tee, and your practice has had no purpose to it, hasn't had any pressure on it. You're then actually out in the real environment. There's water hazards, there's out of bounds, there's bunkers, there's wind, there's different life factors. So you've got to make your practice as much likened to what you're about to face on the golf course.
Again, during lessons, I say to people a lot, okay, just 5-minute warm-up, do what you would normally do for me.
Yeah.
And there's your target.
5 minutes?
They'll stand there and it'll kind of be swipe a ball out the tray, smash it. Swipe a ball out the tray, smash it.
Do you know what the one I love?
Is that what you normally do? Oh no, normally I'd stand behind, take a practice swing, line up, and then hit it. Okay,
go on.
Let's do that. Let's do what we normally do.
The next ball's already coming in before the one's hit, and they've not even watched it. And
I'm still watching the ball.
Yeah.
And I started to go, where did that land? Somewhere down there.
On that big grass bit out there.
How far? Where to?
What curvature?
Did it land on the green? Did it curve?
Yeah.
If you don't know that stuff, you can't make a change. So you can think you're doing so much right on the range, and your swing starts to turn into just copying. You hit a good one, and you go, that was the one. You could just copy,
don't you, and go, right, okay, figure it out. But we never play to the same target.
Yeah.
In golf, we're moving constantly.
Rex Richards, do you think you could do the 30-shot challenge if you played from the red tees?
Depends where the course was, really. Yeah, potentially.
Kind of the Bryson tactic of break 59.
You could do. Yeah, depends. Like I say, on the course. The thing with if you go right off the front on some courses, what it leads to, from sort of our standpoint, if we were doing a 30-shot challenge, is it brings driver into play a lot more, but it also brings in trouble.
Yeah.
So there'd be a lot of holes you're going, oh, I can get the green here, but actually around the green or leading up to it, there's a lot of trouble. So it can work in your favour, yes, and sometimes it can go against you.
Tempts you to go for things that you shouldn't.
Exactly. Yeah, if it was a course where there was not much trouble around the greens and every hole was 300-ish yards, then hopefully.
It's almost like when people have that par 5 where they leave themselves that sort of max 3-wood yardage in, where it's 235, say, or 240, and they stand there going, I feel like I should. I'm tempted. I can see it. It's lasered, and I know I can get there with my best. So they try it. Whereas if they were 320 yards away, they'd nudge an iron down there and go again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yes and no.
Right, we've got one more question, and I think there's a couple of layers to this one because it would depend what golfer you are. Okay,
layers.
This is from Steve 2024, commented on our last podcast.
What did he comment on, Tom?
The podcast.
Can you just clarify that for everyone?
Podcast. Should clubs be allowed to set maximum handicap limit in comps? Obviously, this helps the lower handicap players if their opponent is several shots down before the first ball is played. To answer it backwards, if they're already down, and let's say they set a maximum handicap of 24, and that person's off 28, are they going to win the comp anyway? Having 4 less shot, are they not already at a disadvantage because they're not as good a golfer? Yeah, probably.
It would it depends if you've. There's probably 2 trains of thought there. You've got the person who is a high handicapper who's already disadvantaged because they're not playing to that maximum handicap anyway, or you've got someone who's a 28 handicapper who's just come back to the game who maybe is decent and should realistically be off 20.
Going to win off with 52 points next
exactly.
week.
So it sort of then makes it a bit more of a level playing field for the lower guys and the lower girls and the mid handicappers, because that person 28's a little bit too generous, and actually, and we saw it in comps when I was growing up and stuff like that. You go out, have a decent round, it'd be like, oh, so and so won off 28 today, he shot 18 over par, and you're like, what, 10 better?
Yeah, you've got no chance when you're playing off 6.
That'd be like me going out and shooting 59.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think for me personally, I do think there should be, because for that person then who wants to play in the competition, you can still go and play in the competition, and if it's a hindrance to you, it's a motivation to get better, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember you must get lower than 10 to be able to enter club champs. Even if you were a junior, you could go in men's club champs if you played off less than 10. That was a motivation.
Yeah.
I think you could probably split the comps up and say, well, board comps, big comps have a limit to them.
Yeah.
Maybe your weekly Stapleford doesn't, but I think where golf clubs, a lot of clubs have it right now, is there's 3 different categories.
Yeah, I think
you win your category.
Yeah, exactly.
And that makes it fair.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, if it was is it 54 the maximum handicap now?
Yeah.
So what's that? That's 126 that you're going to shoot.
Yeah.
125 maybe, depending on the par of the golf course. It's going to take you a long time, isn't it? And you probably yes, you want to play in a competition, and it's a bit like the sort of old tee debate, isn't it? Which tee should you play off? You've got to sort of know your level, and if you are maybe at that highest of handicaps, maybe a 9-hole comp is good for you to start off in, because you're learning about the pressures of playing in a competition, the etiquette of playing in a competition, the scoring of playing in a competition. So then when you go on to play in the bigger competitions, the 18-hole ones, the board comps, the things like that, then you're au fait with what all that is about, and you're right, okay, now I know to come in. As where if you went straight in and you're thrown at the deep end, it's like, okay, I'm a bit out of my depth, and then does pace of play get affected and things like that. So I think there should be I think sometimes maybe it's like, oh well, everyone's got to be included, but also we need some limitations, don't we, where you go, right, well, this is the barrier to entry, and if you want to come, it's like when I was playing amateur stuff, I got balloted out of some comps when I was off like scratch or +1, because there was international players that were they were on the world handicap system at this point, and they're off like coming in off +3, +4, and they got in, and then you looked at the scores and it was like 90, 95.
Yeah.
Because they've never played a links or anything like that. And you go, oh, well, that's annoying, because
I could have done
I could have got in there, but like there was a barrier.
Yeah.
And the handicap limit and stuff like that. So I think, the right to it, but as long as there's an alternative for that other player.
The difficulty, and where I see most people asking this question or getting frustrated, is when you've got a 10 handicapper who's working hard on the game.
Yeah.
And as you've just said there, the 54 handicapper just goes for one lesson where he learns how to bump and run and putt. And goes and shoots 15 under his handicap.
Yeah, and you go,
and
what?
The 10 handicapper that sort of goes, well, I've paid my entry fee, I've paid my membership.
Yeah.
I feel like I've just had a great score shooting 6 over, maybe 4 under my handicap, and I've got no pro shop credit, or I've got no winnings.
Yeah.
That's really tough to take. And I remember I was purely playing for handicap in the end, because you were struggling to play to win a comp, because you were not getting 43 and 44 points. So I think categories is probably the best.
Yeah,
the best
categories,
way.
So as long as there's something for everybody, definitely.
Good question, Steve.
Yeah,
well, Matt, like I've got some golf lessons to do today, and we've had a great day.
We have,
but I do not like being late for golf lessons, so that is the end of our. I think that's the end of our questions anyway.
I wanted a 45-minute debate on castle tees.
I'll come prepared next week with castle tee. I'm going to go and buy a pack on the way out.
I want you to get a pack and put it on the Instagram for us, and put a little call to action. Put a little word on the post now.
Just going to be a video of me with some gangster music over it, ripping balls off a castle tee.
Yeah, if you can, just put castle tee family. And if you're this far into the video on YouTube, just comment for us, Castle T Family. And if you're on a platform where you're listening to us, again, Castle T Family.
Unless you use red Castle Tees of par 3s, then don't comment. Don't comment.
Yeah,
they don't count.
Just pink Castle T
pink only.
Yeah. So Tom's going to put that on Instagram as well, and Castle T Family on there. If you haven't as well, make sure you are following all those platforms. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast channel, subscribe to the main channel as well, so you don't miss the video with Joe. Leave us a like and a review on the audios, and from us, we'll be back. Oh no, we're not going to be in the studio next week. I'm in St Andrews.
No, you're leaving me next week, so I'm not on the podcast next week because of you. Not my fault.
We might phone you in. We could dial you in on the dial up.
If you can't find any St Andrews friends, you're going to call me in last minute.
Yeah, I'm going to call you from the Dumb Vegan.
I'll be sitting in my living room with
17 deep.
I like it.
Hi Tom,
I'll be there. I'll be there in spirit.
Yeah. Right, guys. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week with another one.